What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video. And that's right, folks. It's a new work week, and your boy Duty is excited to cover all of the shenanigans in the DSP vortex. That's right. And I'm going to start it off early with a video where I've been hanging around, chilling on the Twitterverse, seeing what's popping, what's going on. And I'm noticing a little trend here. I'm noticing DSP is making use of his blue check mark. That's right. And it looks like on his day off and anytime he has some free time when he's not streaming or pulling Hogan's or eating DoorDash, the man is on Twitter just going crazy on Twitter. That's right. As you can see here, our boy Phil looks like he's still starting drama. As you can see from this post here, he wanted to know if there's a way he could look at LTG's responses without scouring the internet and seeing 100 edited videos where people mess with his webcam or interject. Does he actually archive his stream somewhere, or is he really that big of a, you know what, that I can't watch and react to what he said? All right, so what we have here, Phil, what we have is Phil continuing the drama. And I guess he's come to the realization that, you know, drama content works. We all know that the dent streak ended last week when he decided he wanted to go back to his normal routine of being boring and playing video games and not chatting about drama. And the Kino dents decided, nah, you know, I rather save my money for something more interesting. God knows what that is. So they withheld from our boy Phil. And I guess he realized that, yeah, you know, he's... What he ended up doing with this whole dent streak and the whole Kino viewer folks is that he ostracized his longtime viewer base. So the folks that used to come out and wail out for him and get him to his $100 tip goal, they've kind of just sat back. Some of them have gone, and some of them have just said, nah, I'm not donating, because, you know, the Kino folks got it. They got deep pockets, and, you know, some dent's going to come out of nowhere. Some anonymous tip is going to come out of nowhere and get him to the $150 goal. So, you know what? I'm going to step back and not, you know, and not support. The problem with that is that, you know, the velcro wallets are only but so deep, and they can only fork out but so much money until it dries up. And that's what Phil is struggling with. As you could tell during the WWE Champions playthrough, he was stuck at like $70 until one whale came out and dropped a big dono and got him to his tip goal. I mean, and that seems to be the common practice now during his streams. And I'm just curious to know how long is that going to last for Phil? And I think he really thought about this break, and he said to himself, okay, I need to fire it back up. I need to talk about the detractors. I need to talk about other locales like himself. And he decided, you know what? Let me talk about LTG. That's right. The other thing he did too was he tweeted at Ethan Ralph for some reason. And we all know that Ethan Ralph has been posting recently about our boy Phil. And it's curious to see if Ethan Ralph is going to dip his toe a little bit more into the vortex. That should be very interesting. But I don't get this clout chasing on LTG. LTG is smart enough to know not to touch the poo, not to mess with you, Phil. And every time you talk about him, he will react to your content or react to your podcast, your video, but he derides you. He looks at you as this pathetic peon, you know, and he's gonna insult you. He's just gonna constantly insult you. And I guess you're fine with that because that gives you content to talk about on your podcast. It allows you to come on stream and talk about how LTG is ducking you and he's a pussy and all this shit. But you look foolish. You look foolish because typically that's usually reserved for people that are witty. And that's something you're not, Phil. You're not witty whatsoever. I mean, you're going to come on and talk about his background and talk about his streaming setup and just talk about shit that honestly no one cares about. The only reason why people talked about your setup and your background was because they knew it bugged you. Because any criticism towards Phil's going to react to. And it's by the way, this is a little detractor tool that we use, is that, you know, with certain locales, if you criticize them about anything, they become obsessed with it. And that's why people would criticize his clothing, his hair, his background. all that stuff. And of course, Phil's a reactionary creature, so he's going to react to everything in a negative way. But LTG isn't that way. LTG is going to bounce back, and he's going to make it personal, and he's going to insult you, Phil. And we all know how you do with insults. So it should be interesting if he's going to keep up this nonsense, or he's going to move off. I have a feeling he'll eventually move on, because he's going to get tired of people. He's going to get tired of LTG criticizing him. He doesn't have the stomach to go toe to toe with someone when it comes to insults, and LTG doesn't give a shit. He'll take 5 minutes out of his stream just to insult you and just move on and not even thinking about you. But now Phil becomes compulsive and obsessive about it, like he was during his day off. Where this is his day off, where of course we all know that this is the one day a week where he gets to spend time with Soulmate, right? And what is he doing? He's tweeting out, trying to find out how he can review LTG's streams. Really, Phil? You do like everyone else does. You watch detractor content. That's why no one watches your content, because they come and watch the detractor content because they don't want to slog through 3 to 5 hours of your garbage. They come and watch detractor content. Same thing with LTG. No one wants to watch 3 to 5 hour streams of LTG, so they watch detractor content. Why don't you get this? I mean, you're going on being a content creator for 16 years and you still don't understand this concept. But anyway, I digress. It just makes no sense. But it looks like Phil's trying to find a way to react to LTG. So I guess he wants to do a segment daily where, he brings up LTG for some reason. And again, this works fine for the Kino folks. But, your hardcore supporters, do they really care about this? Jade and those other folks that have been there, Sarah, those folks that have been there for years for you, Phil, do they really care about this nonsense? They really don't, Phil. But I guess you pigeonhole yourself in a corner where you have to create this kind of drama content until the Kino folks come back. And then once the Kino folks come back, you're hoping and praying that they want to do content with you. That, the Kino Casino trio will be in full effect, and they will integrate you in their content. And I just don't see it, brother. You're not that interesting. They're gonna probably bring you out every so often as a novelty, and usually it's something related to mocking you or making fun of you, Phil. That's what it is. But you're so desperate to keep this attention and keep the money train going that you're willing to sell your pride, sell your what does Phil call it? His dignity. When Phil talks about why he doesn't do drama content, is because he wants to be able to go to sleep at night and know that he didn't hurt anyone. His content didn't hurt anyone. That shit is out the door, folks. This man is just going to be talking straight detractor content. He's going to be talking about other locales. And he has to, because if not, he's just going to go back. He's going to fall back into obscurity, and no one's going to really care. No one's going to give a shit. Like I said before, I really think once the Kino guys come back, the viewership and all that's kind of going to dry up for Phil. I don't know if the support might be there, because you do have a couple dents that feel like they need to stick it to the detractors, and they wail out on Phil every so often, So some of them may stick around, but I'm just not sure. The other thing too is that I haven't gotten the okay to post this. That's why I'm not posting it. Hold on a second. Excuse me. I had to close my door. I have some information that I can't fully disclose yet, but just everyone knows that from time to time, Duty talks to other content creators, other people in the vortex, people who are on the peripherals of the vortex. And I want to let you know that two specific people reached out to me, two content creators that are kind of in this kind of vortex, lightly. They're on the peripheral. They reached out to me and they let me know that apparently our boy Phil is DMing certain people. Well, DMing them exactly to see if they're willing to come on the podcast. And the DMs are funny. That's all I gotta say. Phil, if you're listening to this, your DMs are hilarious, man. And I just want you to know that, when you do reach out to people It's never fully a secret, Phil. Again, I think I've tried to warn you over and over again. You know, you have what are called buddy trolls, Phil, and these buddy trolls always seem to leak things out. So if I get the okay to release some of the information, I will. But in the meantime, just know that Phil is out here DMing people on Twitter. And the DMs are just hilarious. They're so funny. He's such a pitiful person. Just hearing him talk and just hearing him his thought process and what he truly believes, it's so fucking funny. So if I get the okay, I may share that with the internet. But if not, just know that Phil is out here trying to stir up drama for content and views, and it's quite pathetic. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.